Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this. These are going to be my thoughts on another UK show that I went to. Another one. Now, let's get this right with the fingers this time. 8th this year. I'm a moron. It was this one here. This one. It was the Great Warrington Bash in association with GPW. This was the second show that's been in Warrington recently. And I couldn't resist, to be honest. I thought, yes, card looks alright, so let's go along. Decent venue, and I think, though, don't quote me on this, I think it was sold out as well. A lot of people there and a good enthusiastic crowd, which is always a good one, wasn't it? So, to start off, we had Ellie Austin versus Nick Maguire versus Mark Starr versus Ken Zen in a really nice little Money in the Bank match. I really enjoyed this. Now, I could go off on a rant about Money in the Bank. This is a third Money in the Bank match that I've seen in the last 6 months in 3 different feds. None of them were ladder matches, is one of the things that I could criticise. It's one of those hard things because on the one hand, I do want to criticise because it's one of those dudes, get your own fucking gimmick thing. But at the end of the day, yeah, I said that last night after the show, like I might have a rant about it. I've thought about it since. I thought it's a good way of crowning a number one contender. And if there's not, and they can do a lot of possibilities. Like GPW, for example, they did a Money in the Bank match in February that I was at. And Danny Hope won it, and he's still got the case now, and he keeps threatening to cash it, and it's a good little thing. It was only about 5 minutes, I reckon, but it was absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. They did a lovely Statplex spot, which I got on film, which was nice. They had a guy taking photos. Oh, it's just so funny. They had a guy on the outside taking photos, yeah. And I can't remember which wrestler it was, but a wrestler got launched over the top rope, yeah, and landed on the camera guy. The camera guy for the rest of the show, it was almost like it was his first show, and he just went, fuck this, and stood as far away from the ring as humanly possible. In the second half of the show, he was sat on the stage taking his phone. He's like, I don't want any part of this at all. Ellie Austin looked amazing in this one. He did, remember I told you last week he did that cutter spot? Well, yeah, in this one, that got reversed here. As he came back, he got caught into a German suplex. Amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. There was big spots all over the place. And then a double stomp, and that cutter got the win for Austin, which was nice. I enjoyed that one a lot. Next was Skull Crusher versus DDL, Dangerous Demon Lee. Skull Crusher has Voodoo and Voodoo Senior for lots of lols with them, but they got sent to the back pretty quickly. This match was obviously going to be slower than the first one, and it was, well, this is a match I call a cookie cutter match. You can stamp this one out over and over again, which is bad guy kicks the shit out of good guy comes back, and then you have the finish. So this one was Skull Crusher beating the living star out of DDL, and then DDL starting to get a comeback out, but after Skull Crusher Senior came hobbling back out again and gave his cane to Skull Crusher, shot to the head, sorry, 1, 2, 3. Wasn't the greatest match I've ever seen. It was, like I say, it was a cookie cutter stamp out. You can see this match in every fed in the country, but at the same time, it advances the feud. Now then, a match that I really can't talk about very much. You see, the window's open. I still want to open it a bit more because I'm an idiot. It was Team England versus Team Germany. And the problem I've got with this match, well, there's 2 really. The first one is that because of the PA system that they had in this venue, it was quite difficult to hear the wrestlers being introduced at the best of times, yeah? And I've been on the UK fan forum today and can't find any results for this one. So basically, I only knew 2 people in the match. There was Jason Logan, who I'd seen at GPW last week, and there was AJ Casey, and I know who AJ Casey is because it's written on his ass. Remember what we were saying last week about if it's written on his ass, it must be true. And that's the only people I know. This match was sloppy mess, is what it was. And I mean, there was a yah chant at the Germans, which was funny. But the Germans, right, they didn't have a German flag. And when one of them speaks in a broad northern accent, you're like, right, you're not really trying here, are you? So, I don't know, they were all talking in English. It's like, just speak German, make it authentic. So it made, he didn't really care about the match. And like I say, it was pretty damn sloppy as well. There was some spots in this one that you're like, ooh, that didn't look very nice. This was the worst match of the night. And like I say, I can't really talk about it because, I mean, I've got a page of notes for it, yeah? But the problem I've got is that I've got blanks. Loads and loads of blanks because it's like, but get a bomb on someone to eliminate him. Then one on someone to eliminate him. I was hoping to go on the UK fan forum today and find some results so I could actually fill in the blanks, so I can actually give you a decent review, but I couldn't find any. And like I said, because the announcers, because I didn't hear them, I've no idea who they are. So that's nice. Then we got a pizza party with some guy putting on an Italian accent, which was awful, absolutely horrible thing. He says there's two things where Warrington's famous for. It's famous for rugby and it's famous for pizza. And I thought to myself, pizza isn't the thing I think of when I think of Warrington. I think of the Golden Gates and I think of the great big factory they've got next to Wankey Station, and that's about it, really, to be honest. In fact, I've got some friends who live there, but not that. So then Mothman comes out. I've never seen Mothman before. I've heard a lot of good things about him. There's also, it's Tony Knox, the photographer, isn't it? Which is funny. And then, yeah, they did some dancing, and I'm sat there, arms folded, blank face, going, entertain me then. And there's got this girl dancing, and she's giving it something. She's got a massive smile on her face. I'm sat there willing myself to care. And I just don't. And it's like, I don't give a fuck. Anyway, Cyanide comes out. Big bad Cyanide. And he puts the Italian guy through the table and then picks up one of the dancers and does a Samoan drop on her, which I marked out for. And then Bubblegum comes out, leading to Bubblegum versus Cyanide. This was another cookie cutter match. You can probably imagine. I mean, I wrote two lines of notes for this one, which are Cyanide squashes Gum. Gum comes back for the tornado DDT and 619 to win. And that's pretty much it. It's like I say, it's the generic big guy versus little guy. Big guy batters Bubblegum, and he did. He absolutely battered him. Bubblegum was able to rally and come back, use a tornado DDT, and of course, a 619 is always going to be popular with the fans, isn't it? Love Bubblegum. Don't like him as a face as much as I like him as a heel, and that's just because he's so good as a heel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't big myself up very often, as you know. One of the things, if you ever come to a show with me, is I've got a tendency to shout either random stuff or funny stuff. Who got the loudest pop of the night last night? That would have been me, because I said something in the middle of this match which got a round of applause, if you can believe that. Basically, the fans were chanting, "You fat bastard," at Cyanide. Cyanide's a big boy, you know, he's a big guy. But, yeah, they're chanting, "You fat bastard" at him. "You fat bastard. You fat bastard." It's just like, oh, come on, that's not very fair, is it? So when they finished chanting, I just stopped and looked around and went, personally, I think he's got quite a lot of muscle for a guy of his side. And everyone's like, "Hey!" And Cyanide points at me in the ring, and I'm like, you know, that made me laugh. It probably doesn't sound as funny as it did on the night, but it made me chuckle. It made everyone else chuckle, so that was good. Next, match I'd actually gone to see, believe it or not. I've heard so. Chris Egan is one of my favourite guys in Future Shock. He's one of the managers. He manages Cyanide, actually, amongst others. Chris Egan has got a face that you just want to punch repeatedly. You see him, and the moment that he comes out of the curtain, you just want to go, "Oh, I fucking hate this guy." And I really wanted to see him in the ring because I never have. I've heard many things about him in the ring. So one of the reasons I wanted to go to the show was when I saw that Egan was on the show. I was like, "Oh, I'm there, man. I am so there." So Dirt Feel Good and Chris Egan versus Professor Mike Holmes and Suzuki. This was a comedy match. Remember what I said last week? I don't like comedy matches. I'm not here to see comedy wrestling. I'm here to see serious technical wrestling. Damn it! Once again, I'm sat there not being able to write notes. I'm laughing so hard. There was a bit in this match which so Dirt Feel Good was completely different to what I saw in GPW. In GPW, he comes out as a suit. He's a cocky, arrogant heel. He's got the beautiful Melanie Price with him. Here, he's all decked out in colourful clothes. He's still a heel, but he is so funny. I mean, so funny. They did this spot with Suzuki where they put Mike Holmes poured tomato ketchup on him in 2 rounds, and then hit a move on Feel Good, and then put a toy gun in his hand. So it looked like Feel Good sort of came to, and like he'd shot Suzuki. And it's like, oh god, it was so good. He goes to Egan, "Hey man, we gotta get to Cuba." Very, very funny. Dropkick and the crucifix bomb get the win for Holmes and Suzuki. Next, Dylan Roberts came out. He cut a challenge on RJM to an arm wrestling contest. Predictably, Dylan Roberts being the big bad heel, he started battering. RJM's got a leg injury, and so he started working over the leg. Quite predictable one, it was all good. Ellie Austin comes out and he cashes in his money in bank. So we have a match. It's Roberts versus Ellie Austin on double duty tonight. All good. Yeah, this was an alright little thing, really, to be honest. It was the cookie cutter treatment as Roberts was battering him. Every time Austin, every time he got offense in, he did good with it. He did a really nice lion salt, and he went for the cutter, and that got reversed again. But yeah, it's fucking hell, what's it called? A spinning powerbomb by Roberts got the win, and that was good. And then in the main event, it was announced as being a career versus title match. It was Steeman defending the GPW British Championship against Voodoo. Yeah, and that was, it's a dumpster match, and I've never seen a dumpster match live. In fact, the only dumpster match I think I've ever seen was at WrestleMania 14, unless I'm very much mistaken. Voodoo comes out and explains that if he doesn't win, he retires, basically. It's for his career. So, yeah, the match starts off, the dumpster's rolled out, and Mothman's in the dumpster, which is funny. Yeah, I like that. And then, he runs around the ring a couple of times, freaking out and slapping hands with the fans. And do you remember how last week I told you the bin man's super over, and his gimmick is that he's a bin man, yeah? He pulls out a bin from under the ring and just goes, BAM! On Mothman's face. I was like, oh, love that sort of shit. Voodoo gets Voodoo Senior and Skull Crusher with him, obviously, like I said before, and he sends them to back saying, you want to do this on my own, man? So, yeah. In one of those weird fans, there was two fans on the front row who were super enthusiastic fans, right? And at one point, I think it was AJ Casey had gone up to them, because one of the enthusiastic fans had gone, who are you? And he got over and shook his ass at him, punching at his ass. And the guy's like, whoa, I'm not gay, man, I'm not gay. But he's just shaking his ass in front of you, right? In one of those, that's weird kind of moments, Bin Man puts a bin on Voodoo's head and basically leads him over to these fans and say, who wants to spank him? Guy who says, I'm not gay, first in line, whack, 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 on the ass, like, didn't you just, oh, forget it. This was a good little match, back and forth, back and forth, Voodoo gets a ladder out, and you're like, ooh, I'm expecting a big bump on this, especially when he gets chucked to put in the corner. You get launched onto like big, hard bump on the ladder for Voodoo. F5, man. He even said, here comes the pain, so everyone knew what was coming. Hit a really nice F5, that was funny. But yeah, there's a really proper cock teaser of a finish, because Voodoo, and you're thinking to yourself, he said it's career versus title. He got Bin Man into the bin. I think with a dump smash, you have to close the lid. So as he closes the lid, Man makes the comeback, and eventually he put a really nice, really hard Bin Man slam into the fucking dumpster. Shut the lid. Steve Man is your winner. And that was the show. This was an interesting one because I've got to be really, really careful how I word this. So it goes like this. This was my 8th show of this year, and this was the worst one of the bunch, okay? But, and it's a massive but here, right? It wasn't a bad show. It's just what I'm saying is that the standard of the shows that I've been to this year have been so high. 2 Future Shocks, 2 GVWs, a Speaking, a PCW, the Great Bear one. This was the worst. But that's not to say it was shit. It wasn't a crap show. Trust me on that one. I had a great time. There was 11 of us in our group, and we had a great time. So thank you to everyone who's in my group. A great night at the wrestling. And guess what? I'm at wrestling again next Sunday for Great Bear. Chuck Taylor versus Jack Gallagher. Can't wait for that one. I'm Mark P. My computer is on its way. I had the dispatch text yesterday saying it should be here on Tuesday. So if it comes on Monday, which could happen, I'll do your review. If it doesn't, then I won't. It's nice and simple. I've been Mark P. I'd love to know your thoughts down below. And I'll see you soon. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Now! See you later, guys.